Most money problems don't come from lack of income. They come from short-term thinking. The Bible contains over 2,500 verses about handling money, and the majority of them focus on one thing: protecting you from yourself. Not from the economy, not from bad luck, from the patterns that drain wealth slowly, quietly, and consistently over decades. These aren't moral lessons. They're financial guardrails, and they've been working for thousands of years. Threat number 1: short memory. People forget lean seasons exist. When money flows easily, we assume it always will. We upgrade the car, expand the house, add subscriptions, raise the baseline. Then the market shifts. The job ends, the client leaves, and suddenly, everything feels like an emergency. This is how panic starts. You didn't plan for winter because summer felt permanent. The Bible addresses this directly through Joseph's story in Genesis. Pharaoh has a dream: 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph doesn't pray the famine away. He doesn't hope for the best. He tells Pharaoh to set aside 1/5 of everything during the good years. 20% stored consistently. Egypt survived because Joseph understood something most people ignore. Seasons change. Abundance doesn't last forever, and neither does scarcity. The families who protect their money aren't the ones earning the most. They're the ones who remember what short memory costs. If you're building wealth right now and aren't setting aside at least a portion for future disruption, you're not planning, you're just spending slower. Threat number 2: panic decisions. Fear makes people do expensive things. When the pressure hits, logic disappears. You take the first loan offered. You sell investments at a loss. You agree to terms you'd never accept under calm conditions. Desperation has a price tag, and it's always higher than you think. Proverbs 21:5 says the plans of the diligent lead to profit, but haste leads to poverty. That's not poetry. It's a warning. Rush decisions compound. One bad move creates 2 more. Before long, you're not solving the problem. You're funding it. The Bible assumes you'll face pressure. It doesn't tell you to avoid it. It tells you to plan before it arrives. Because when you've already thought through the next 3 moves, panic can't sell you a bad deal. Planning reduces fear. Fear destroys money. Threat number 3: comfort spending. This one's subtle. You're not buying luxury. You're just making life a little easier. A meal out because cooking feels hard. A service because doing it yourself takes time. A purchase because you've had a long week and you deserve it. None of these are wrong, but they add up, and over months, they become the reason you can't save. Hebrews 13:5 says to be content with what you have. That sounds like a character lesson, but it's financial protection. Contentment isn't about denying yourself everything. It's about not letting comfort creep become your budget's biggest expense. If you're spending to feel better instead of spending because you plan to, you're not in control. You're coping. And coping is expensive. The Bible doesn't condemn comfort. It warns against using spending as a substitute for peace. Because once you start buying your way out of discomfort, there's no ceiling. There's always something else that promises to make life easier. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Not because it makes you holy, because it keeps you solvent. Threat number 4: fast gain chasing. Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. You see this everywhere. The crypto bet. The side hustle that promises quick returns. The investment opportunity your cousin's friend swears is about to explode. It's not that fast money is impossible. It's that people who chase it rarely know how to keep it. They haven't built the discipline, the knowledge, or the systems that protect wealth. So when it comes, it leaves just as quickly. Lottery winners go broke. Sudden inheritance gets spent. Windfalls disappear. Why? Because wealth without wisdom is just a countdown timer. The Bible's approach is slower, steadier, less exciting, but it works. Saving consistently, investing wisely, building over years instead of months. It's not a story you'd tell at a party, but it's the story that actually ends well. If you're looking for the next big thing, you're not investing. You're gambling. And gambling always costs more than it pays. Threat number 5: ignoring future seasons. Luke 14:28 asks a simple question. If you're building a tower, wouldn't you first sit down and estimate the cost? Most people don't. They start projects, make commitments, take on obligations, and hope it works out. That's not planning. That's wishing. The Bible assumes you'll encounter expenses you didn't predict. Medical bills, car repairs, job changes, family needs. If you haven't built margin into your life, those aren't just inconveniences. They're disasters. When you ignore future seasons, you force present income to solve future problems. And income was never meant to do that alone. Ecclesiastes 11:2 advises spreading resources across multiple portions because you don't know what trouble may come. That's not pessimism, that's realism. Life changes, markets change, health changes, family needs change. Margin isn't excess, it's protection. When you build your life so tightly that every dollar is spoken for, you don't just lose flexibility, you lose peace. Any disruption becomes a threat. Any delay becomes stress. Any surprise becomes debt. People who plan for future seasons aren't anxious, they're prepared. They've already accepted that life won't stay stable forever, so they don't need stability to feel safe. Ignoring the future doesn't make it go away. It just makes it more expensive when it arrives. Threat number 6. Borrowed peace. Debt promises relief before it demands repayment. It feels like a solution. Bills get covered, pressure eases, time is bought. But peace that comes from borrowing is temporary, and it always expires with interest. Proverbs 22:7 says the borrower becomes servant to the lender. That's not a judgment. It's a description. Debt shifts control. Decisions get smaller, options disappear, risk tolerance drops. You don't move based on wisdom anymore. You move based on obligation. This is why debt is so draining over time. It doesn't just cost money. It costs freedom. When future income is already claimed, today feels heavy. You're working, but you're not moving forward. You're paying for the past. The Bible doesn't say never borrow, but it treats debt as serious, weighty, and limiting. Something to exit as soon as possible. Because lasting peace doesn't come from delaying pain. It comes from reducing exposure. If your financial calm depends on payments staying manageable, that calm is fragile. Real peace comes when fewer things can break you. Threat number 7. No margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you spend. And most people live without it. Every dollar is assigned. Every month is tight. Every plan assumes nothing goes wrong. Proverbs 6 points to the ant, storing in summer without oversight or pressure. Not because winter is guaranteed to be brutal, but because preparation removes fear. Margin gives you time to think, time to say no, time to wait instead of react. Without margin, every decision is urgent, and urgency leads to mistakes. Margin doesn't mean excess, it means breathing room. It means your life can absorb impact without cracking. It means you don't need perfect conditions to stay afloat. Most financial stress isn't caused by low income, it's caused by no buffer. The Bible consistently protects margin because margin protects people. None of these threats are dramatic. That's the danger. They don't destroy wealth overnight. They erode it slowly, quietly, over years, through small choices that feel harmless in the moment. The Bible doesn't shout warnings about money. It builds guardrails. And those guardrails exist for one reason: long-term protection. Not fast gain, not flashy success, but stability that lasts. Because wealth that survives seasons is far more valuable than wealth that arrives quickly.